Now I'm good, but like if I raise my voice, it was like I laughed. I literally was just see and okay.
Yeah, you're fine now. You're good now.
So start the fuck. Yeah, I swear to fucking God, I'd rather really talk about that next week because we could save it. So
if you're just tuning in, I'm your host Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast podcast. I'm here with my best friend Mitch. Say hi to the people, Mitch.
Existence is pain, and I want to die.
Nice. Again, if you like the show, if you don't like the show, blah 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 blah. You should put in. You know what I heard?
What?
That changed my mind about this whole comment section thing that I've been trying to do for the last couple of weeks. It's not that it changed my mind to not do it anymore, but it changed my mind in the way that, like, I was talking to Sarah about, she came to me and she says all this like shit. Like she goes like, she's very angry about like stuff she heard on the show. Like just the show last week that we did.
The one
she was on, right? Why? She was like mad about like the stuff that we were saying, but she was like arguing with herself on the show. You know what I mean? And I was like, and she goes, I'm just trying to tell you. And I said, put it in the comment section. And she goes, but I'm just trying to tell you because, like, I don't know where to do it. And I was like, put it in the comment section. She goes, well, where is the comment section? Is it like the Spotify of the comment section? I was like, shit, you're right. You're right about that. You're right. And so, like, I was thinking about it. I was like, where are you going to comment on that? Because, like, even if, like, you commented on, like, Instagram, like, it's not the same thing. You know what I mean? So what I think I'm going to start doing for the show is I think I'm going to start putting sectionals of topics, like instead of like having the whole show, like I'll post like a section of the show. Like I'm still like the show's still going to come out. Don't worry. But like I'm going to post like a section of like a topic. Like, so like the topic that we talk about, I'll post that and I'll post that on like YouTube and everything else. So that way you guys can actually comment on the show. All right. Deal. Cool. Nice.
Who are you talking to?
Huh?
Nothing.
I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to that guy. I'm talking to this guy. Talking to this girl over there.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah, we get it.
You.
Yeah, we get it.
That's, you should really listen to the show in a group setting. That way, like, you could just argue amongst yourselves about, like, why are we listening to this?
Why are they saying that?
Why are they saying that?
Who the fuck do they think they are?
I like Joe Rogan.
Why is Mitchell so hot? Jesus Christ, I would so give him a blowjob if I saw him in life.
You always go straight to blowjobs.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Like every time. Every time.
Since when do I go straight to blowjob?
Every time on the show, you always go straight to blowjob.
Straight to blow? No, I need proof of that because that doesn't sound like me at all.
I can make a highlight reel and just send that shit.
Like, yeah, do that shit. Yeah, you won't.
Mitch's blowjob reel.
Mitch's blowjob reel.
Yeah,
like, I just need a blowjob. That girl, she looked really nice. I love the book she wrote. That was such a great book, and it had such great nuance and intellect. Man, the blowjob she would give my brain. Like, the fuck are you even talking about, bro? Well, just show me the proof, and I guess I'll believe it.
Make a Joe Rogan style, like, supercut of you.
Yeah, just blowjob. Blow. So yeah, she could blow. Yeah. I really hope that is the case. That'll be really entertaining to me.
This is what we call content.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about relationships because it's gonna get
oh my god,
Mitch a little riled up.
Oh my fucking god, I just despise your being.
I'm tired of like burying the lead and like having the soft topic for the first like 30 minutes of the pod. Now we're gonna do the hard shit.
We don't even do that. We don't even always start with soft topics.
We started 2 weeks ago. We started with snow.
So, but like we don't always start like that. I remember there's weeks we start with like other shit. I don't know. All right, well, okay, so then go ahead and take fucking leads since you want to talk about how hard relationships are. Here's Mitchell O'Neill with barely any relationship experience. Experience with women, sure. Experience with partners, sure. Experience with feeling lust, love, a combination of the two, hurt, pain, and all those other things men feel towards women sometimes, sure. But you're asking specifically for relationship shit, so I'm just like, the fuck you need me here for? You want to talk to my dad? Like, the fuck you want from me, bro?
I'm trying to think of like what would your dad say about relationships? Like what?
Probably
maybe?
way more than I do, and then tell you about his marriage. And I guess beforehand he could tell you about. I don't actually hear about my dad's flings. I hear about it in passing, but I'm not really trying to put my pop's business out there. But I mean, he could tell you. I mean, my parents. It's like, what are they? They like 25, like 30 years of marriage or some shit. I don't remember. I love them, but like I don't care about stuff like that.
What age was your dad when he got married?
I believe both my parents were young, like in their 20s, like early 20s. Ew. Like my pops had to be, I imagine, 22, or no, maybe a little bit older because my mom's 6 years younger than him. So like maybe like 28 or something, and she's like 22, potentially younger, actually. I don't really know. I probably should, but I don't really be in their business like that. I just know that I believe my mother was pregnant with my older brother when they got married.
Pause for a second. Pause for a second. Check your connections on your microphone. Like, make sure they're all pushed in and stuff. And on your, because it keeps skipping. Like, is everything all pushed in?
Everything is. How about I close clean feed and log back in? Because when I did the restart, my Chrome.
All right, let's try this again. All right, go ahead. Continue what you were saying.
No, I'm just saying, like, he was, because my mother was pregnant with my older brother. I believe when my parents got married. So it was like, you know, my father, I'm assuming, you know, he wanted to, you know, do the right thing, and you know, so they got married. And then, so he's had the, you know, the ups and downs of being in a relationship. Because it's, of course, he like cared about my mom and she cared about him. But, you know, they're young, so they're not sure what they're doing. So they've had like a full, actual like relationship. You know what I'm saying? So like, could ask him, but don't fucking ask me. Like, fuck. Shit, you could literally ask both of my brothers actually, because they've actually been in some relationships. But what was
it you were saying about how men and women shouldn't be together though?
I didn't say that. I was just saying like the way we get towards each other and interact in this life and almost everywhere on the planet is just like kind of crazy. And I don't mean that in defense of us. I don't mean that in attack against them or vice versa. It's just the factual truth is men and women get together and it's like, yeah, it's love, or is it lust? You know what? Maybe it's the hormones and the programming. You know what? I think I hate you sometimes. Most times. All the time, maybe. Fuck men. Fuck women. And it's just like, I don't feel like talking about relationships. I don't get involved in them because it just like, it's weird navigating life already enough. So why don't you tell us what you want to talk about, how hard it is to be in a relationship so bad?
No, I was telling you about how hard it is to be in a relationship. And then you started going on a rant about what you were just talking about. And I thought that was a lot more interesting than what I had going on, you know. So there's that.
Keep talking, bitch.
No, I mean, like, I don't know, Mitch, like,
what?
I just thought it was funny that, like, I feel like a lot of people have this perspective of relationships where on one hand, like, there's people in relationships and there's people outside of relationships, right? And everybody has this weird perspective about them. And there's like people theorize the way a relationship should go when they're single. And then when you're in a relationship, it's not that at all, you know?
That sucks.
It sucks, but it's also life. It's like kind of like being a parent. Like people
that is not selling me. That's not selling me at all. It's like being a parent. That's even more dissuading for me. Carry on.
Well,
though, please.
It's after Valentine's Day, and if you're still not booed up, like you know, I'm trying to tell you how good you got it, you know, or don't get it. I don't know.
Okay, I don't know where we're going with this, but please keep going. Keep going.
Well, what I was trying to say, you know, what I was trying to say basically was that, you know, like there are a lot of good things about my relationship, but like there's a lot of hard things that also happen with the relationship as well. You know,
makes sense.
And me and Sarah look like we have like an excellent relationship. Like, even if you look at our pictures and stuff, like, we have a very like cutesy type relationship, but that doesn't mean that we don't ever argue or like ever like have things like happen with us. And I feel like that's a very basic thing to say, because I feel like everybody who's in a relationship be like, well, we argue too. And it's like, it's like we argue with each other on each other's level, and that's a lot in itself. You know what I mean? If like you were to be a fly on the wall and to see some of the arguments, you'd be like, these guys need to break the fuck up. You know what I mean? But that's not how it works. That's not how a relationship works. Like, you have to put a lot of time and energy and work into a relationship to like stay together with somebody. You know what I mean? And I think people don't really know what it is they're looking for when they ask to have a relationship. Like, it's one thing if you just want to be with somebody like for the night, or if like you just want to hook up, or you want to have a friends with benefits, or even if you just want to have like a little like thing, like a little girlfriend or a little boyfriend that like you're not necessarily in a deeply committed relationship with.
Oh, you mean a situationship?
Yeah, even a situationship. No. Even like a little boyfriend or girlfriend that's not like serious. It's not like you're not going to marry this person or anything like that. And I'm not saying I'm going to get married to Sarah. I don't know. But like, I mean, like tomorrow or anything. Like, I tried that, but it didn't work. But like,
good for her.
Good for her. Really?
Good for her.
Fuck you.
I'm just being real. Like, how dare you? First off, what y'all going through, gonna be like, oh, I tried to marry her yesterday, nigga. What?
No, not yesterday. That was a long time ago. I was like 3 months into our relationship. I was like, you know what? I'm so in love right now. You want to get married? And she was like, no. And I was like, man.
Good for you, Sarah.
No, don't say good for her.
Good for her. Good for her. So good for her. Once again, Sarah. Once again, because I know you're out there somewhere. Good for you, dear. You keep doing you. You keep pushing for your best.
I have that problem. Like, that's like, I move really, like, if I feel it, then I'm like, let's go get married. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Oh no, I feel you. It's just you specifically know you crazy as fucking dumb as shit for that. So like, that's what makes it. But like, you specifically know this, but you all like, yo, this love in my heart. It's like, that's cute.
I feel like
nigga, no.
I feel like when it comes to getting married, and I'm probably wrong too, but I feel like you got to strike while the iron's hot. You know what I mean? You can't strike.
Listen, I know I'm the one without the like info on this one, but I think that one's a no. I think that one's definitely a no. That's like definitely a no.
I think if you like have the feeling in your heart and you know, it'd be like,
yeah, and that's cute. But emotions are these powerful things that make us do things that we wouldn't otherwise do. And now sometimes, and these rom-coms got us thinking like, oh, but most of the times in reality, people are like, the fuck are you doing?
But you bring up a good point, because like there's, with like the emotional aspect of relationship, that's the part that everybody likes to focus on.
A relationship isn't about the emotion. That's the thing for me at all. And that's kind of what I struggle. If it was about the emotion, I'd probably be in relationships with at least, other than every woman I've ever like done something with, also just the woman I pass by in the middle of the fucking street, bro.
Me too. Yeah.
But like, it's not about the emotions or the feelings. It's not necessarily, being in a relationship isn't about even being in love. In some instances, which is what makes me sad sometimes. But like, yeah, so you all like, yeah, man, I'm going to struggle. It's like getting married specifically in America
like if
isn't
you
about
have a
love.
person, like, I think to me, like, we're really shitting on relationships right now. But like, to me, the redeeming aspects of a relationship is that like you do have a person that is like, for some reason, they're like your person. Like you connect with that person, and there's no other person that you want to be with or do things with, right, in a way. And I know I'm speaking like from a very monogamous type of like mindset, but like,
which is fine. You're a monogamous person.
I mean, I know a lot of people are being left out of what I'm trying to say.
It's not about them right now. It's about you. We're not talking about polygamy or any of that.
But I'm just saying, because I'm sure they experience something similar. But what I'm saying is, is that like you just have that with that person. And so like no matter what happens, like there are days like Sarah could do whatever and then like I would still pick Sarah. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand I don't understand that bit right there sometimes. Like, and it's not necessarily an emotional thing, but it's not necessarily not an emotional thing. You know what I mean? Like if it's like between like Sarah and like anybody else, you know, I'm still gonna pick Sarah no matter what. You know what I mean? Like nobody can ever like make me think like, no, I'm gonna leave Sarah for you. Like it's not like, it's like that is not that's not how it works for me.
So who's your biggest celebrity crush?
Rihanna.
Oh, really? You're a Rihanna stan?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Rihanna pulls up, you know.
Rihanna's pregnant now, though.
With the new child. Well, you know, let's say she left ASAP. She's like, yo, Logan, I really like the show and I know you have a crush on me. Mm-hmm. You know, I have Rocky Jr., but, you know, let's be together. I'm feeling you. All right. Not to mention I'm a billionaire.
Okay.
You want an allowance? You still choose Sarah?
I mean, I'm going to date Rihanna, but yeah, I still choose Sarah.
No. Oh my God. How even fucking dare you? My man said, you know, I still, you know, of course I'm a date. No. So yes or no, man?
To what? What's the question? I don't understand.
You choose Rihanna? Because now
define
it is
the word choose.
As in Rihanna, I almost said Sierra because that was one of my questions. Anyway, Rihanna's dating you. Sarah's your person. But in order for you to be with Rihanna, she wants you to fully be with her. So she has to be your new person. Do you pick Rihanna or do you pick Sarah?
I have to fully be with Rihanna?
Yeah, man. You can't be... It's a monogamous relationship, man. Rihanna wants monogamy from you.
I think that night I'm going to sit Sarah down and have a long talk with her about how we're about to lie to Rihanna. Like, we are really about to lie to Rihanna.
Okay, but I need you to answer the question proper. So you still choose Sarah is what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm going...
No, but I need to... The record needs you to say you still choose Sarah.
What do you mean? Of course. I'm sitting down and we're having a conversation about how we collectively are going to lie to Rihanna.
No. Do you choose Sarah? I choose Sarah. I choose Rihanna.
Okay,
those are your two options.
I'm playing around, but like
you're playing around.
Yes, I definitely do choose Sarah. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't know how annoying Rihanna is in real life in a real relationship type situation. You know what I mean? Okay. I've been through that with one person, and you got to pick your battles. You got to pick. That's what it makes like me think about like relationships. Sometimes this is sometimes like what people don't talk about in relationships is that like, do I really want to start over? Am I really going to start over with this person that I don't know?
Yeah, I know. That's the sad part to me, though, sometimes. Because
that's not sad. It's not as sad as you think it is.
No, well, from your perspective, to me, the reason it sounds sad is because that shouldn't be anything on the table. Like,
you would think.
For me. I know. That's why I'm saying to me, it's sad. I'm like, damn, like, because it's not about having to like start over. But the thing is, like, a person has to be comfortable with themselves, is what I think. Because, like, that shouldn't be at your forefront anyway. If someone's giving you hardship and you're like, yo, and it's gotten to a point, because I'm not saying like, oh, you know, you got in an argument once and you just left the person, obviously. But like, if it's like, yo, this really isn't working for me, it shouldn't be in someone's head to be like, damn, I don't want to deal with this, but do I want to start over? Because obviously that's not something about.
But no, like you offered the scenario of like, would I leave Sarah for Rihanna?
No, and right? I know what your reason was. I'm not coming at your reasoning.
What I'm saying is the type of scenario that is like, is the grass greener on the other side type of shit. Like, that's what it is. You know, like you chose like a thing that like the grass looks the greenest it could ever look. Right. And so what I'm saying is to a lot of people that like, that's the dichotomy that they're like working with in their head. That's the argument they're working with in their head. Is the grass greener on the other side? It's like, listen, you don't know what the fuck is in the grass on the other side. Like in the grass that you got, like you know it's there. You know what I mean? Like imagine, like that's what I don't understand about people in relationships sometimes is that like, or like when they leave relationships, like to get into a relationship with another person, it's like I don't understand why you did that. Like I can understand breaking up with somebody to be single. I get that. Mm-hmm. You know, you breaking up with somebody, there's plenty of things and options you can do to be single. You can have time to yourself, play video games. You can find somebody else that like you just want to like talk to and then never see again. You know what I mean? But like to jump out of a relationship because you saw somebody on the street and then you're like, I want to be in a relationship with you. How? I don't get it. Because you were just in a relationship the same exact way with this person, right? And you jumped into a relationship with them and you didn't know that, let me say something that's completely unrelated to Sarah. You didn't know that their farts smelled that way. You didn't know that they chewed like that. You know what I mean? And yet you were in a relationship with them for a mad long time, right? But like now you're gonna jump into something with somebody else and you don't know what their tics are. Like what the fuck is wrong? Like who are you? You're a psychopath. You're a psychopath. You're fucking crazy that you can do something like that. Wow. Just blind? What the fuck you mean?
Gotta have
I don't
the
know
courage,
how to
man.
do that shit.
You know, the hardest thing, and I mean, that's a metaphor for life because the hardest thing in life is starting over. But the sad part is that sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes you must rebuild. Yeah, but no, you are right in terms of picking your battles. I get that. It's just that in my head, because the problem is it's not about the relationship. It's not even about the other person. In a moment like that, it's all about you. Because you're the one who isn't comfortable with themselves or feel you can take that battle. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking like you specifically, but it's just like that is something I see. Because remember, people like me, I've stayed single, obviously, but that's because I'm used to being a loner. I thrive on wanting to make myself independent. I hated being dependent. I still, to this day, despise myself for being dependent upon my parents, for feeling like I was this fucking parasite on them, for feeling like I hindered their lives. Who knows what their dreams were? So there's a big part of me, and you know my situation. Mm-hmm. It isn't exactly easy over here, but I'm the person. The choice I want to make is the person who can thrive through that, who can push through and find some at the end. The problem is most people don't feel comfortable doing that. And here goes one reason people get into relationships. I'm just tired of being alone. And that should never be a reason you get into a relationship. Because another person, you owe a person way more than that. Oh, you know, I was just lonely. You know, I was just doing it for fun. You know how some people get. Yeah. Some people get disgusting. No, you're right. You're right. You know, it was good for the 4 months. I just needed someone. I always got to be in a relationship because I can't be by myself. And me, I find that horrible. I find that absolutely horrible. There's a failing in society in general. And of course, with women, it's especially hard because there was a failing in society with, you know, giving women the power to even like embolden themselves and be able to take care of themselves for so long. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to even like, I can't really get on women for certain behaviors like that. I don't like it, nor do I pretend to, but it's at least understandable on that point. But with men, it's just like, wow, because you need the touch that bad. You're so sexually addicted in one sense. And, you know, for some, it is because, you know, the comfort of a woman, you know, helps me feel all right, which I get. But you should never be going into a relationship like, you know, I was just tired of feeling alone or I felt ashamed. And so I got with this person.
Yeah, being like having, like you said, like having somebody like touch you and like, you know, being intimate with somebody.
It's the most wonderful feeling, but you can't be using somebody for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's not, you can't.
There's got to be more there.
Like what is the other person gonna get out of it?
You know,
like that's completely selfish because you're only thinking about like, you know, that's why you know, some of you guys can't fuck, but like, you know,
it's why some of them can't fuck. It's why the relationship doesn't actually work out. It's why some people are miserable
because it started with like a corrupt idea. Like it's completely selfish. You can't start from a place of selfishness and think you're gonna end up in a place of like unity. Like it's like, I don't know why that was so funny, but it's the truth.
No, right. Well, so we at the Milk and Toast aren't saying that you can't go from being toxic to being whole again. We just don't think it fucking makes sense. Perhaps you should think about it.
I think you need a lot of therapy to get there.
Yo, facts.
Like it needs a lot.
Go get some help.
Jay-Z had to go through therapy.
I mean, well, he made a boo-boo. He made a big boo-boo. Because you talk about picking battles. He chose the wrong you chose the wrong battle there.
You made it out.
Hey, he made it out.
You know how many battles you got to pick wrong to like have your celebrity wife's sister, who is also a celebrity, kick your ass in an elevator.
Elevator, bro. Bro, and mind you, he didn't fight back. So in my mind, in his head, he had to be like, damn, there's cameras in this elevator. Damn, Solange really? Like, I know it's your sister, but we're supposed to be fans. You really gonna do me like that in the elevator, bro?
Damn, my life is really here now. Like,
yo, facts. Because when you think about it, when you think about everything he's gone through, the triumphant story that is Jay-Z, that has to be the one stain that's like, damn.
He was having a good time. I wasn't
supposed to be this nigga.
Yeah,
I wasn't supposed to be this nigga.
That's the toxicness. Because you was having a real good time before that.
It strikes hot. It can strike anyone. This is world-renowned, multi-platinum artist, hip-hop billionaire mogul Jay-Z. But the toxicity struck one time and put him in a place. You feel me? You don't want to be, I can't be in that place. I can't even afford to make the moves he makes. But if as above, so below is any example here, if Jay-Z's not getting away with doing shit like that, I think I'm going to try to be a better person in my, humble existence right now. That's all I'm saying.
Anyways, all I was trying to say about relationships basically is just that,
they're difficult.
Is that they're difficult, that they're not always as rosy as I don't think I try to make mine out to be rosy. I think I just like to talk about shit that I enjoy happening to me. But I don't want to give the wrong impression that like relationships, even that seem as good as mine, or like where I can bring Sarah onto the podcast every once in a while. Like, I don't want to give off the impression that like we're just this perfect couple, or like I'm the most flawed person I know. Like, how the fuck would I have a perfect relationship? You know what I mean? Like, that's not like, I don't think anybody in my life would even like dare to think I'm perfect. So like, why would my relationship be that way? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a deeply flawed individual with many, many issues and problems that I don't even want to deal with. So like, to know that there's another person out there that is also dealing with my shit, there's no way that like we're not going to clash and we're not going to have things happen where we argue or whatever happens. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like Sarah is my person. Like, like I tell Sarah that all the time. I don't want to go to like Met Fresh with anybody else, like, I don't want to go to the grocery store with nobody else. I know that sounds stupid, but like that chokes me up, because it's like, who the fuck am I going to walk down the street with? We went ice skating the other day. That's where we went for Valentine's or whatever. Like, I don't want to do that shit with nobody else. You know what I mean?
It doesn't sound stupid. One, you should never say the things that make you feel joy and the love you feel for your partner is stupid. One, I got you, Sarah. He's an idiot sometimes, but I got you. So you shouldn't say that. That isn't stupid. If that's how you genuinely feel that. It's just, you shouldn't. The thing I was saying earlier is, if it shouldn't be that you need that feeling so bad you're afraid to restart. And I'm not even talking to you. I just mean like in general, because that isn't a place anyone should be. You shouldn't be that person in your relationship. Your partner deserves better.
Yeah, I don't think it would. My point isn't that like I don't want to restart. My point is that
it's crazy, right?
No, it's not that it's crazy. It's that,
I mean, that's kind of what you were saying.
My point is, well, yeah, but I like to be funny. But like, my point is generally and basically that like, there's nobody else I'd rather be with, to be honest. You know what I mean?
That's a better point to make.
I know, but everybody says that shit. But like, to me,
you're the
honestly,
one who hates cliches, not me. I think they serve a great purpose
because they're so empty. You
just made like 2 and they were really full and loving.
Whatever.
Yep.
Anyways,
Match point Mitchell on this one.
No, it's not. To me, honestly, like, I don't know. There's no other better way to say it, but like, yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I'm not trying to blow smoke up at anybody's ass, but that's how I feel. Like, I don't want to be with anybody else. Like, I don't like not even Rihanna. Like, I love Rihanna. I'm so sad that Rihanna's pregnant, by a baby that's not my baby. But at the same time,
All right. You were good while you were ahead. Now I'm not sure. But
Cringy?
Yeah. Definitely cringe.
But Rihanna, why, baby? Why?
Really? No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Oh my God, we're not doing that.
Why?
Because she's living her fucking life.
Did you see Simone Biles got married too?
Good for her.
I literally tweeted Simone Biles at first Rihanna, now Simone. I can't have
come on,
shit.
Man.
Like,
come on,
can't
man.
have a damn thing in this world.
Like, why, God?
Why, God? Why?
God damn. God, you seen that video of the dude coming in his house? God
if
damn.
there's like one thing I could depend on, it'd be like at least Simone would be available. And then she comes out with this like 8-foot like football player. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, good for them. Hope they're happy.
Yeah, I hope they're happy.
All right. In other news, it's still Black History Month. And we have a Black History spotlight to you. But today, we're going to be talking more contemporary with an Olympic athlete. I'm sorry, I may butcher your name because I'm not familiar with South Sudanese language and pronunciation. But we have Athing Mu, I think is how your name is pronounced. It is spelled first name Athing, and then last name is Mu. But she is a 19-year-old, only 19, middle distance runner from Trenton, New Jersey. And let's see, this was back in August, I believe August. Let me check the date to be certain. Give me one moment. Let's see. Yeah, so August 3rd, she won gold in the women's 800 meter race. That's what you would say, right? 800 meter, like, because it's not a relay, so it's like an 800 meter race.
Yeah.
But she won gold in the Olympic women's 800 meter race, and that hasn't been done since, let's see, I believe 1968. It's been like 53 years or something. Yeah, it hasn't been done since 1968 in Mexico City. So shout out to you, Athing. Black excellence at its best. She's only fucking 19 years old. You know, she was born, she has like 6 siblings. She's the youngest. She's the second youngest of like 7 siblings. Her parents are from Sudan, just trying to make a better life for their kids. And look at her, you know, 19 years old, winning gold at the fucking Olympics. First time. You know, we at the Milk and Toast podcast just want to wish you, you know, a great life and a great athletic career, because it's really great that you're able to do that. And I just wanted to celebrate you during Black History Month because I think that's fucking awesome. So shout out to Athing Mu. Once again, I may not have pronounced that right. So any Sudanese speakers or listeners on the show, let me know. But like, congratulations to her. Black History Spotlight for tonight.
Yeah, congrats to her.
Congrats.
I do like when you do those spotlights.
I know.
Fuck you.
Well, they feel good. It's good to be able to celebrate in one level. It's like we think about it like all the time, and me and you, we're always talking about issues, but it's nice to just take a quick second to actually celebrate someone. Great accomplishments motivate people to kind of do better in their own lives.
I did have a question for you about Black excellence, though. You
want to do that today? Have we spoken about that before?
No, I don't think so. Have we?
Okay, I don't know.
Probably.
I feel like we kind of bring it up probably in passing all the time. But anyway,
what do you think we brought up before?
I don't know. I think there was something about, because remember we had a talk about mediocrity, and so I know we had to bring in, which isn't specifically Black excellence, but I know we had a discussion on mediocrity and how society kind of puts you in a place to be mediocre, and you kind of had the discussion well, what's wrong with that? And the Black excellence discussion kind of echoes that in some sense, because you want to talk Black excellence, and it's well, do we have to always be excellent? Can't we just get up, breathe?
I mean, I wasn't really going to go there with it, because what I heard recently is I was watching this YouTuber. Maybe one day I'll say his name, but not today. But I was watching this YouTuber, and he was a Black YouTuber, and he was talking about Black people shit. And he was talking about representation of the black bourgeoisie on TV, like, you know, like the Cosbys, the Jeffersons, and people like that.
Right.
And he was talking about like how it seems like, and this is not like an original point from him. This is like, you know, other people have said it. He's just used like TV as like his way to talk about it. And he said like, it seems like, you know, that a lot of the time that what people like try to say is black excellence or whatever is just, you know, like black people trying to emulate like whiteness, like trying to emulate what makes white people quote unquote excellent. You know what I mean? Like a lot of money and things like that. And that just got me to thinking that like the way we frame black excellence, do we frame it too much like white success? And if that's the case, how would we reframe that so that success means something different than just like, I don't know, being like the greatest in your class and your craft, or like being like, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say like being like a super nigga, like, you know, like that's because I watched Black Dynamite, and then like that one part where he was like, "Sweet," he said super nigga, and I was like, because it was just a great line in that movie.
No, that's like, that's so funny, bro.
But like, but like basically being like that, like how, like I hate like when people like have to compare like people to like Barack Obama and shit. It's like, you know what type of person and what type of conditions you would have to be Barack Obama. Like, you know, it's like, and then like we say like people like him and Jay-Z are like black excellence, and they're like the top 1% of black people. You know what I mean? And it's like excellence has to mean a little something maybe closer to home sometimes. And then sometimes I think that excellence needs to mean something that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with money or power or status. You know what I mean?
I mean, so let's talk about it. So we're talking about America. So in other countries, you know, sometimes they come from monarchies and shit like that. America comes from being a British colony, you know what I'm saying, and revolting, and then introducing slave labor to literally build itself up. Black slave labor, as we know, well, Native Americans as well, and then other types of, you know, cheap labor, whatever the fuck they can get away with.
Right.
And so for a long time, Black Americans, the only excellence, or what they could consider such, what they felt was like to that high level, was coming at the end of a whip. You know, why was a situation like that? So you get freedom. Now, the fact is, of course, no one wants to emulate their enemies per se, but you notice there was a certain way of living that you might have envied. And now all of a sudden, how do you build yourself up? Well, you see they doing it that way. You want to be better than them. Maybe that's the way I got to do it. I honestly think sometimes, and especially in the American sense, it's like just a mistake. Because like, imagine if you grew up in Ethiopia and the first vision of your excellence was Ethiopian, you know, these beautiful black Ethiopian kings and queens. How do they carry themselves? That's going to determine how you choose to possibly carry yourself. So in America, it's all sorts of fucked up in one sense, because we're seeing all these people do whatever it takes, you know, to get theirs. And on some level, black people, like, we emulated that. Because I don't think of it like as a white black thing. Because the fact is, I think about it as an American thing. It's just America's complicated. Those slaves, sadly, they were American. Sadly. You know what I mean? And looking, who do you have to look up to in one sense? As much as we begrudgingly, we like begrudgingly have to admit that. I see where you're going, yeah. We don't like that, but who else were we looking at? Who had the money? Who had a lifestyle that we thought was something we wanted? You know what I mean? And then look at us now. We're struggling through a lot. If we're not, you know, people who was like freed slaves back then becoming multimillionaires literally by their own bootstraps, where the term actually comes from, because that's what they was doing. And so I was like, oh, is that what it looks like? At least they look like us. They kind of act like these white people, except they're not acting like white people. They're acting like people who get some money, get some power, and all of a sudden forget who themselves and lose themselves. That happens everywhere.
You think that's the case?
For me, yeah, man. Like, the fact is, power corrupts, as we're aware of. And in America, like, in order to get from a point of ground zero, which we could, for this example, say is like, I came up from the mud, the dirt and mud, to go from there and then to get to living in mansions, pushing Rolls Royces and all that, there's a lot of struggle in between that makes a person a cynic who no longer cares about the people around them. Maybe I wanted to do the good thing once upon a time. I got money now. I've been helping people long enough. It's time to handle me. And I look good doing it.
I have an issue when people say power corrupts, or like absolute power corrupts absolutely. I feel like I don't think power corrupts. I think the corrupted are powerful. Like, I think that's what it is. Or like people in powerful people in powerful positions are either inherently corrupt or like, use corruption to become powerful. But I don't believe that power itself is a corrupting influence. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Like, and it doesn't have to be like a constant thing. The fact is, it's just like you think differently when you feel you can do whatever you want. Because and now even me and you, we come from a stance where that hasn't been the case for us.
I feel like the people who say that are not people who are like necessarily people in power, or like people who are trying to consolidate their own power. I don't feel like power is like, I think the best thing to tell somebody if you didn't want them to have power is that power corrupts, so that they would feel like power is some type of evil thing to stay away from. Like, what if I said money corrupts, and I made like a zingy little quote about like how money corrupts? Like, when that
doesn't keep anybody from, funny enough though, that doesn't keep anybody from wanting it. So it's funny you say that, but
no, that's not true, because there's plenty of memes about people about like how you're happier when you don't have money, and how like richness makes you sad, and like, not having this and not having that does this and that for you. And it's like, we're supposed to believe that like Jeff Bezos is crying on a jet ski, and it's like, I don't
know. Well, that isn't the meaning of the statement, because it's not about caring about whether he's crying on the jet ski. It's about wondering what you were actually like as a person with all this money, and what are you doing in truth, and also why aren't you doing in some instances, you know what I mean? So it's like, because it's at some point,
I think it highlights. I don't think it changes you. I think it highlights who you are. Like, I think it just puts you on. I think richness and power puts you under a microscope that's almost unfair, in a way. And I mean that. No, well, this is what I mean. I don't mean to give like rich people cover. That's not unfair. What I mean.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean is like to be magnified in such a way that like, if I gave you $1 billion tomorrow, like, you have all these things that you say you would do with them, but like, your schedule changes and everything in your life changes overnight. To accommodate. You know what I mean? So how you think of your priorities and what you think is what you should do today and what you shouldn't do today is like, automatically everybody has a agenda for what you should do with your money automatically. You know what I mean? Right. So like, you are automatically under a microscope that like is telling you all these different things, and like, to ignore just one of them is like so detrimental to like everybody around you. But it's also like, how the fuck could you solve all of the world's problems, right? And I just think that like anybody under that microscope would look like a dick, basically. Is like, if everybody's looking at you to like fix the world, like, you're going to look like an asshole no matter what, because everybody has their idea of how you can fix the world, and to say no to this person or that person is to look like a dick to somebody. So you're looking like an asshole to a lot of people at like one time.
Yeah, but that's so fair, but like, that's not important. It's not important about how you look to other people. Mm-hmm. It's what you actually do and what you can actually do.
I think it causes some people to do nothing, like, to be honest.
No, some people, billionaires, honestly, I don't think care, but I honestly don't think they care in the first place. They're like out of touch. Because like I say, you get to that point, you don't have to deal with anybody anymore.
But did they care? Like, that's the other part of the power corrupting argument
Did they
that I have
care?
a
So
problem.
you're asking a
It's like,
question
did they
we don't.
care before? Were they like Gandhi before, and then they gave him $1 billion, and then they stopped being Gandhi? Like, you know what I mean?
Sadly, the benefit of the doubt means that it's possible that they were, or it's possible that they weren't. You say that, but we don't know.
I think they were a dick before, and they're a dick now. They're just a dick with money.
No,
Like,
I think people were actually like probably, and I'm not saying there's perfect little angels, but I'm thinking that was probably more decent. And then they got money. It was like they became cynical.
What is more decent? Less harmful because you didn't have the power to harm? Like, it's like, that's what I mean.
What are people actually? So let's think about these. Let's talk about Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. What are they doing in terms of harm other than not using their money specifically to, do things for other people?
Well, Elon Musk is literally destroying the atmosphere like every day because he like sends like rockets on a whim almost every other week.
But isn't that part of his Mars space project thing?
Yes, whatever. But like you can't kill the planet in pursuit of your space, like your science fair project. Like you can't.
Is it a science fair project? Do you know that?
Fuck him. He just blew up a rocket just yesterday.
But we're not here to talk about how you feel about him. We're here to try to figure out his character. Now, if the man really wants to go to Mars,
that's horrible character. Yes, I think that's kind of.
But if the man wants to go to Mars and has the means to do it,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
If he has if that means that he has to destroy the planet to do it,
I'm not saying he should be doing. Obviously, I don't like it either. I'm just saying, and talking about his character, if that is the end goal, which is something he thinks may be positive,
right?
Why wouldn't he do that if he has the means to do it?
Why wouldn't he do that in a way that doesn't destroy the planet he's already on?
I mean, Logan, when you're firing off rockets,
the air here,
NASA does that too. Space travel is a thing.
Yeah, but NASA doesn't do that. But every couple of years,
they can't afford to.
Exactly, but he does it like every week. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, is that actually every week? Because don't exaggerate right now.
They just blew up a rocket.
And when was the last time?
The last time is in recent memory of whatever they blew. When's the last time NASA blew up a rocket?
Well, don't say blow up a rocket like that because that's weird. And
I mean, it's not people on the rockets, but like, when's the last time NASA launched a?
To be honest with you,
in your memory is what I'm trying to say.
Like literally a couple of months ago to like get off like satellite. Well, not satellites, but like telescopes and stuff. Like they do a lot of stuff that I don't think we know about or hear about.
Who, NASA?
Yeah, not like in a harm, but their job is space exploration.
I'm saying that Elon Musk launches so many rockets that you remember that shit. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I mean.
That you remember that shit, all right? Stop launching them rockets.
I'm not saying that NASA doesn't also probably launch a lot of rockets, but I'm saying this bitch launches so many rockets that you can remember when the last time, in your own memory, in your own little busy mind, you can remember the last time he launched another and blew it up.
God like, damn, you know what I mean?
And he blows up a lot of fucking rockets. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get what you're trying to do, but you're not helping.
You know, like, could you stop launching rockets, or maybe give NASA the
rocket?
Maybe
fucking figure out what you're doing first before you launch another one. It's like a publicity, and he's like, it's not even like trying to actually go to Mars. It's just something for his stock ticker, really, at this point. Like, if you have to blow up a rocket every other month, it's because you want people to talk about the rocket you just blew up on Twitter.
I don't know if that's fair to say.
Why?
Because
this is the world we live in.
No, it's not the world we live in. Otherwise, we wouldn't be living in it. So if I want to get somewhere, if I did have aspirations of getting to Mars, the fact is I'd want to find out the quickest way to do it. Now, environmentally, of course.
Why?
Because if we think that the planet, so I'm coming from a different perspective.
Okay.
But if the assumption is like, you saw Interstellar, right?
Yes.
You remember the basis of Interstellar?
Is that but the planet isn't dying like that. Like
Logan, the planet to our little minds here
is a dust ball right now.
Logan, I'm not saying that it is, but we're not as far as people think. That's the thing. I know that's crazy to say.
We are far enough where he doesn't have to do that.
What's far enough, Logan?
What's far enough?
Yeah,
I don't
think about that.
It's going to be a dust bowl in the next 5 years. How about that?
In the next 5. Okay. That's nice. What do you say about the next 20?
That's different.
I mean, yes, look, obviously it's different. That's 5 versus 20, but either or 5, 20, those aren't long periods of time. So what would you think about in the next 20?
It's a pretty long period of time.
Logan, 20
it's
isn't
long enough to okay, listen.
You see where I'm going with this.
I hear what you're saying. 20 years is long enough to try to actually fucking figure out the problem instead of just sending rockets up because you're like, gotta send one up because we don't know how much time we're gonna
Logan,
have.
What if it's I gotta send one up because we don't know how, see, you laugh, Logan, and I know this is funny. I know it's crazy because we both don't like him, but it's like when you think about it, Logan,
team actually figure out how to get done what he wants.
Logan,
to get
Logan, let's
that.
be real. Let's be real. It's not like the man has the capability. I mean, he has the money, but it's not like he could legit make any of that happen without getting people who know what they're doing to make it happen.
He doesn't have. Obviously, he doesn't.
Logan, he's launching the rocket, so obviously he has to have someone there doing that knows that he doesn't know how to launch rockets.
He doesn't know how to land them either. That's my point.
Oh shit! I almost reset my thing again. Okay, no, I get you, but it's like, so imagine if you did have 20 years, you're like, yeah, we have to take the time so we don't do anything. But if the 20 year comes and the Earth is gone, shit, we just wasted that 20 years.
It's not going to take 20 years, first off, to get at least 30 people from NASA
Logan,
to actually figure out what the fuck you're trying to do.
Logan, you're right. And we should probably write a letter. You're absolutely right. We should probably write a letter. For real, as funny as that. But my point is like, the funny enough with risk taking in any endeavor is that you're taking the risk because you don't actually know. You don't, sadly. In most senses, you really don't.
But like the old,
I know, and you're like, yo, the Earth.
Oh my God. Like the old black adage is, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. He could literally just fucking do that. That's the fucking problem. He's not a good person. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not a good person. Okay, but your basis isn't entirely fair. We talk about that microscope that we can put people under. Yes. But the other thing about the billionaires, and it's funny how we never like get the chance to actually, because there are good billionaires in the world that I've heard about. It's funny we never actually get to talk about them. But regardless, when we want to put these microscopes on these people, we, for lack of a better term, the common people don't actually have the means to put the microscope and see what they're really actually like. They're doing whatever they want. Usually we end up hating them for it and don't actually try to figure out what's going on. Elon Musk isn't going to listen to us because, everyone hates him. And we don't really care to talk to Elon Musk because there's this disconnect and divide. You know what I'm saying? I think there is a point, like, I did bring up the whole microscope thing. And I do believe that that's like, there is an unfair amount of attention that we put on like 3 or 4 people in the world. You know what I mean? But on the other hand, like, if you're a dick, you're a dick. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, I'm not going to in good conscience say that somebody's not an asshole just because they're a billionaire and I don't know them like that. Like, if you're doing dickish shit, like Kanye West is an asshole. Like Elon Musk, these people are dicks. You know what I mean? I've been saying dicks a lot this podcast.
Yeah, that's your business. You deal with that Freudian shit later. For right now, and continuing on, and continuing on really that friend of thought. Yeah. Well, I'm professional.
Damn,
anyway,
you got me that time.
I'm professional. Moving forward, we got to talk.
I was like stabbing somebody with an icicle, man. You just like walked off with that shit.
I don't bro, like, come on, like, I'm just talking, I'm just having a good time, like, shit.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, all right, fuck you. You're like, just wait till I see you next time.
Where is it?
But no, so like, yeah, you're right, because we do look on the outside and we're like, those people's assholes. We can't deny it, but it's like we don't actually fucking know them or what they're going through or have the means to make them better. They don't care because they're cynical. Because I mean, we remember old Kanye. Everybody misses old Kanye, which I guess we'll never get back at this point. But like, there's a process, and this is why I know you disagree. Mind you, I wouldn't even disagree with your statement. I just would say that both are possible, even sometimes at the same time. But like, nonetheless, we don't actually know these people. Those people are so far gone, they don't care. So like, and me, I guess it is because I try to give people the benefit of the doubt until like I really can't. But it's like, for me, it's like, yo, these people were starting from nothing. And you're right. Maybe they did start it as assholes. But to be fair, I imagine that same world that makes all the rest of the assholes made them as well. Now, their choice in being assholes is, of course, their own. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
But it's like they got to where they got, and it was just like, yeah, you know what? Fuck this place. Fuck these people. No offense, Logan. I've been feeling that way more and more lately as I continue my artistic career. Originally, people used to ask me sometimes, like, Mitch, why don't you do all this? Why don't you do all that? And subconsciously or not, the truth is because like the industry and all that shit seems like it does horrible things to me. I know how I feel about people. I know how I feel about society sometimes. Mm-hmm. And it's like, let me imagine what happens if I get a little bit of change. It's like you try to keep yourself on the straight and narrow. And here we are, you know what I'm saying? You, a Christian man, casting all these stones. You know what I'm saying?
Man, what the fuck?
Shut up. Anyway, we'll move past that. But here we are doing that. But it's like, we really forget that, like, it's real easy to just fall off straight and narrows and not give a fuck. Look at the world we live in, man. So, yeah, for me, it's like, yeah, I just think...
I'm not casting stones because...
Logan, don't do that. Logan,
Elon Musk is
don't
a
do that.
Slut.
That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. Why you want to do this right now?
Destroying the planet. The fuck you mean?
All right. Okay, man. That was just an example. Relax. You don't got to feel so offended. It's a defensive. But, yeah, dude, it's like, for me, it's like, people get money. People get some power. Like, there's a truth to what you said. Like, there's parts of them that was in there before. But it's like... in actuality, that's kind of there for a lot of us, I think. A lot of people. Yeah,
but like, I think my original point was that like, it's not the money that makes you the dick. Like, you are already an ass.
See, that's why I have to disagree, because it's the money that literally, because you're talking about Elon Musk firing rockets to destroy the atmosphere. We wouldn't give a fuck if he was some dude who was like, I want to fire these rockets because we can make it to Mars.
Before then, his parents themselves were like, African blood diamond miners. Like, what? Like, he was. What do you like? Like, what is his start?
Well, I mean, off Elon Musk, because like, I mean, that's his start. So imagine what that's like. But anyway,
he's literally in our world. I hate Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor because he's literally Lex Luthor.
You think
like, Elon Musk is literally Lex Luthor.
I think you give him too much credit. But I see where you're coming from.
No, he's smart. No, he's pretty smart. I give him that.
Lex Luthor's smart. But I'm being extra because like I love comic books, but like not Lex Luthor smart. I don't think we have anybody on the planet Lex Luthor smart.
Have you ever seen that movie Loose?
Loose?
Oh man, I'm gonna put you onto that. I'm gonna show you that movie because that kid is Lex Luthor. If anybody's seen that little independent movie, kid is Lex Luthor.
That scares me because Lex Luthor on our. Well, there is no Superman, so it actually shouldn't be a bad thing per se.
A movie with just like Lex Luthor, no Superman, I'd watch the fuck out of that.
He might not do anything, bro, because Lex Luthor before wasn't really doing anything other than like billionaire, endeavors and shit like that. And then Superman came along and he's like, oh nah.
Oh,
my ego says this little alien farm boy just gonna pull up on my planet because Lex Luthor. So literally on my fucking planet.
I think I could make a really good Superman story. My Superman story would literally be like about Lex Luthor for like the first like probably 15 minutes of the movie. And then it would be about him like trying to cope with the fact that everybody loves Superman more than him and like him like making a scheme because of that shit. Like I would
deal with this. After everything I've done for you motherfuckers.
Yes, exactly. Like that would be his animus. You know what I mean?
Oh God. Well, I hope there's a person that's smart.
Anyways, my vision for Black excellence, because this is where we started, but that's not where we ended. My vision for Black excellence, I would hope, is that you wouldn't have to be like Superman to become excellent. Is that like, Black excellence could be like you found like the love of your life, or like Black excellence could be like you are happy. Like Black excellence could be like, you take care of your family. You know what I mean?
That don't even work for Black people. Like that don't even work for Black people. Black people like specific with Black excellence. Like Black people like, nah, we know what Black excellence is.
I think know, and that's the problem. Like I think there's a problem with having to be like Jay-Z to be Black.
Have you seen what's it called? Oh my God, it was such a great. Have you seen Queen and Slim?
Nah.
You didn't see
I
Queen
heard
and
it
Slim?
was bad, so I didn't see it. If I hear a movie's bad, then I won't watch it.
No, I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, and I actually liked the film in general. Okay. I thought it was the way it was shot was dope. I thought it looked, in terms of the aesthetic, great, and then the story was actually a good story. It's just all the shit that I think people thought it was bad because it's sort of unrealistic in terms of how the story went. But when you look at how the story went, like everything made sense. So I don't know what people complain about, but they did touch on that because they were sitting at a diner, and she was giving him, because she's a lawyer, and he's just like regular dude working a, you know, full-time, part-time job.
Right.
And she was like giving him shit for like random small little things. And she was like, yeah, you know, you could be better than that. And he's like, why black people always got to be, you know, better or some shit? Why can't we just be?
Right.
And that's kind of the sense that you're going for, because it's like black excellence should be your very existence, persevering through white supremacy in the first place.
Like a lot of black excellence is based too much on what
You
like
do,
a Eurocentric view of success. You know, that like I look at, I love living in New York because like my job allows me to like literally see the New York skyline like every day. Like we're always out. Like I'm always out. I'm always on the highway. I'm always like passing by. Like I get the full like movie view every time I go to work, you know? Mm-hmm. And I never get tired of it. I love watching it. Right. But then like to me, like when I think about it, like I've been trying to use my logical brain when I look at the buildings and stuff. And it's like, if you just look at the buildings as a person, like it's fucking inspiring in a way. And I think that's what people like, is because it's like you have all of these fucking like tall, glossy buildings. Some of them are very historical, you know, and I'm not just talking about like the Empire State Building. And the Empire State Building itself is like, I can see why somebody might think it's marvelous, because like just like the way it's built like screams like power in a way. You know what I mean? It screams like that, and they don't even like do shit like that in there, but like they like it is like that. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm watching it all these buildings, and what I know of like business and stuff is like some of them shits is empty. Like it's just like like I'm looking at it. True. I'm like, some of these shits is held by somebody who is bankrupt right now. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like we look at the buildings and stuff, but it's like there's so many of them that I'm like, some of this shit's is real decrepit. It's real fucked up in there. Like, you know what I mean? And it's the truth, you know? And we don't think about that because, like, going back to our earlier point, grass is greener on the other side. So we say, like, oh, like, you know, all these millionaires and billionaires must own the buildings. And, like, a lot of the buildings are owned by, like, millionaires and billionaires. But, like, that don't mean all the buildings are successful. Like, if you walk by the Empire State Building right now, there's ads for them for, like, office space in the Empire State Building. Now, they would not have to put ads on the ground level for anybody to see, so that, you know, like, for no reason. Like, they need those spaces rented out. They need those spaces like taken over. Yeah, or else there is a whole article about how like office type buildings are failing because of the fact that like people moved out of them during the pandemic and then found out, hey, it's actually cheaper to keep people at home and work. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm looking at this shit and it's beautiful and like it represents what it represents, but like sometimes we're just going to have to let a representation be that, a representation. You know what I mean? It can't be the whole of the whole. Like, I think people struggle with that a lot when they're looking at something and they think like, oh, this thing is uber successful. Or it's like, no, you saw the window dressing, but you don't know what's going on inside the building. Like, you don't know what's going on inside the building. Like some of these buildings are housing businesses that are failing right now. You know what I mean? Like businesses that are just like in fucking disarray. And you don't know that shit because you're just watching and you're like, oh, wow, this is like power. Like, you know, it's like, you're like, how does the song go? You say, this is big, rich town. You know what I mean? I don't grow up in the poorest part.
I just come from the poorest part.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? And it's like, you're looking at that and it's like, man, they got all types of people and stuff and situations going on in there. That's why you can't look at like whether or not the grass is greener. You know, you can't, you know? So like to say that like success has to be built on this idea of like money and power. And then like, it's like even success built on the idea of like other people's money and power. And like Jay-Z's getting beat up in a fucking elevator, you know what I mean? By like somebody who's 5'2", you know what I mean? Like
his
it's like
sister-in-law, no less, bro.
Like you got to think of the levels of shit that's going on. Like this is the life you want, like you know what I mean? So like maybe we should be happy with just happiness. Like maybe we should just be happy with the fact that like I don't know, like maybe we should just be happy with the fact that like we ate today. You know, like why can't that? Like I passed by a fucking bread line today. That shit hurt me in my soul. You know what I mean? That somebody couldn't eat, or that they needed food to go eat and they couldn't get it for themselves. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that they're not excellent in themselves, but it's like we take a lot for granted. We just take so much for granted in our lives that we're doing and that like other people do and that other people do for us. And like to say that those things aren't excellent, that we need a whole nother superstar like level to get to excellent. And that's no offense to Jay-Z or like the young woman you shouted out today, because I believe that's excellent too. But that can't be the only excellence, you know, when we're doing well. Like you're doing well, people are doing well out here. You know what I mean?
Well, like, as well as they can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because when like you think of the word Mitch, excellence,
like I said, you're doing well. Like,
oh, I'm not, but you know, I'm here. Right.
I knew you was going to say that, but well, like,
I'm not, but I'm trying.
I think you're doing well in the sense that like you're going to school and you're trying to better your life, and like things that you say are not the best where they should be. Sure, true, valid, but also at the same time, like they're not always going to be that way because you're investing in yourself in a way that it's going to bear fruit one day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether it's through the experiences that you're trying to cultivate now, or whether it's through the same experiences but in a completely different way. You know, that investment is going to be there no matter what, and it's going to bear no matter what you think or not think is going to happen. You know, and that's fucking excellent. It just is. You know?
No, I could vibe with that.
That's my worry and my concern. That's how that's my message for like Black History Month, I think, at the end of it. Because we talk about Black History Month. I said this at the beginning of Black History Month in a way that I think detaches us from our own history in a way. Because like, how can I have a Black History Month if all these people that are memorialized through it, like, are them? And I'm just me, you know? And it's like, the fact that you draw a breath is Black history. You know, that is the history of us. That's the history of our people. That's what will be the history of us. Yeah. Yes. You know, not even just survival through oppression, just life. Just to have life, you know? Like to have that. Again, I'll get off my soapbox.
It's okay. You weren't too bad this time, so it's all right.
Like, it wasn't as bad as last week.
No, not as bad as last week. Last week wasn't too horrible either, but like this one wasn't bad at all. It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. What else we got? Could we go home early?
Huh?
Could we go home early? Early dismissal? All right. Because, oh boy, I got shit to do. And I'm sad because I don't want to do it.
I wanted to talk about what do I want to talk about?
Find it.
You want to end on a sad note or a good note, or just a meh note? What you feeling like?
Let's end on a sad note.
It'll be the last one. On a sad note.
Sad note. Yeah. Let's get sad.
I don't want to make you too sad. Let's talk about how sad the algorithm is.
Okay. Which algorithm are we getting into?
I was gonna do Did I Ask to Be Here, but I don't think I need to put you in that space.
We could save that for next week.
Yeah, let's do that a different day. Let's do that when you're not having like the worst day ever.
It's just life sometimes, man.
No. I love that I say by the way. Podcasters hate like ums and ahs and ums, but I love saying on my podcast.
Really?
Because,
that's a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing where they like don't like to hear themselves stutter and stuff. I don't get it.
Oh, okay. That no.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of things. I don't know.
That's a public speaking thing. It's not anything.
I think it's just a natural thing. It's just how I talk.
It is a natural thing, but public speaking
if you guys
asks you to be a
are
little
going
bit
to
better.
listen to a podcast that I'm on, you're gonna have to listen to somebody stutter. Like I stutter like a mother. Like, you know what I mean? So like you are gonna have to listen to me do that. You came here, you heard me. I'm a person who stutters. deal with that. Like, I'm not gonna edit out my stuttering. What the fuck? Okay. No way. All right. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the algorithm because
now, which algorithm?
All of them.
That's a lot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the most popular ones, like Facebook and TikTok.
Okay.
Because Facebook, we've talked about Facebook's algorithm problems before. Mm-hmm. And it's nothing new that's going on. It's just something I was thinking about. Like, something that we kind of left out is that, like, Facebook does try to tailor content towards individuals. But I think what gets lost in the sauce is that we blame the negative things that Facebook tries to show us on Facebook and not us.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
What is that? What was that, man?
That was Apollo scratching at the door.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, we try to blame like Facebook on the things that like we see that are like the negative things. Mm-hmm. But I don't necessarily think that's Facebook's fault as much as it's our fault. Now, what I think is Facebook's fault is that they designed a system that's so free-willing like that it would show us stuff like that. But I feel like the algorithm shows us stuff that we hate because like it knows us. You know what I mean?
In a sense, yeah.
Like the algorithm's only job is to keep you on the app, basically.
And show you things that you've been looking at in the past, that your friends have been looking at in the past. So there's a lot going on there.
But not just that. I think the algorithm's job is also to show you things that you hate because you're going to engage with things that you don't like. Like if the algorithm shows me a video of Ben Shapiro, like I'm going to engage with that. Now, there was a time when I would engage with that, but I don't engage in that type of shit no more. So the algorithm don't show me that shit no more. You know what I mean? Like, it don't show me shit like a bunch of Republicans are doing this, A, B, C, this, that, and the third. Because I got rid of most of the Republicans on my Facebook anyways. I'm like, you know, it doesn't do that anymore.
It is what it is.
But I recently joined TikTok, and it did start doing that to me.
Oh,
like, it started showing me, like, Republican shit.
Well, have you been looking at shit like that?
No.
Any ads on your phone, anything like that? Any conversations you're having?
I look at, like, well, what I do look at now, the last couple of days, is I have been following, like, the situation with Russia and Ukraine, which we should probably talk about one day. But, like, I've just been, like, bro. It's a lot to talk about. So it's like, I'm not really caught up on all that, so I'm not really going to pretend that I am. So that's why I don't bring it up on the show. But, like, it's a political thing, and I understand that. And that's why I think, like, TikTok has been trying to, like, show me, like, things like that. But I also will stop, like, for, like, just political things in general on TikTok.
Okay.
And so, like, it'll show me stuff like that. But I also notice that it also shows me shit, like, that I just don't want to see, like shit that's totally out of left field. And like when I notice, like even when Sarah's on TikTok, I'll notice that like TikTok bombards the fuck out of her. Like they know her. Like they know exactly what's going to piss her off because like every time she says, "Can you believe this?" and she comes and shows me the video and I'm like, yeah, no, it's horrible. Right. I'm like, they showing you that shit because they know you hate that shit because they know you're going to come and show me because you just swiped on the video 3 times to make the video play 3 times. So that like, you know, the amount of engagement they're getting out of you for like hate watching. You know what I mean? I don't mean just Sarah. I mean like everybody. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like that's something we don't talk about as far as how the algorithm works is that, like, it's tailored not just towards our likes, but it's tailored towards our hates as well in a very, like, sinister kind of way, you know?
Right.
I don't know if anything I'm saying is interesting right now.
No. Well, it's algorithm talk, so it's kind of tough to, like, follow because the algorithm's complicated. But, like, social media kind of does that. It's like, so there are social media games that scroll up that you can find like on Facebook. You'll be scrolling and then there'll be a game. Mm-hmm. But rather than showing someone playing the game well, they show you the person losing.
Right, exactly.
Like sometimes real bad. It's a similar premise and you're like, oh, and there's a party that's like, this negative reaction makes me want to interact with this.
Yeah.
And so it's like the algorithm, it's almost as if the algorithm switched to like, all right, so showing them what they like is getting them bored. Because at the end of the day, it's like you said, it's supposed to keep us on the app. So now it's showing us like other people failing and like giving us an opportunity to be like, well, I could do that. I could succeed.
Yeah.
And for the algorithm, that kind of works. So in that similar vein, it's like, oh, I hate this shit. But, oh, you want to know what's happening with the shit that you hate. Like good shit, you just like it, maybe move on because you're like, oh, that's great. Oh, she's pregnant again? How wonderful. Oh, he won that? Oh, that's cool. Oh, what? She got a promotion? Yeah, bitch. Way to break through that glass ceiling and shit. But like, you're going to be past that in like 30 seconds. But the algorithm is like, oh, let's show them like, Ukrainian children getting bombed by something. You're going to be like, yo, what the fuck?
Right.
What the hell is going on there in one sense? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just really strange, like scary in one sense. Cause like there is a cloud. We see another conversation we could have is the evolution of AI.
I think that's a part of it though. I think like
that is a part of it. I think AIs run them sometimes. There are plenty. We're not hearing as much as AI as we should be. First off, there is an AI citizen now, I believe. I forget her name, but she is a legit AI. Yes, an AI with citizenship.
What?
Yeah.
What's that?
See, we don't hear anywhere near enough about AI because someone developed an AI and, being that she thinks in like a really developed, intelligent AI, the fact of the matter is she thinks the same way we do. And as it's looking, technically would feel as we do as well. Or logically feel, I guess. But the point is she was given citizenship in the country. And so like, I know that's crazy. Oh, you cut out.
Sorry. Who the fuck gave her citizenship?
I don't remember which country. You know what? I'll go to the Googles.
That's crazy.
While I'm doing that, the
why would you give a computer that? That's nuts.
What you
mean?
What
is wrong with people?
You give a human child that.
Okay, but like it's an AI. It's a computer program.
It's a being.
It's not a fucking being. It's a toaster.
Ooh, we're having an iRobot discussion now. We're getting places.
That. No.
We're getting places. Funny enough, I agree with you, but still, if we're having the logical, moral discussion, it's like this thing, you could call it a thing, but the fact of the matter is, what are we other than an amalgamation of parts? I mean, a soul,
that
yeah,
thing can't feel shit.
You don't know that, Logan.
It don't.
You don't know?
What does it feel?
I don't know. Maybe binary in different ways.
It don't feel like goddamn thing. That's what I'm saying. That's
Sophia.
Bullshit.
In 2017, Sophia is like basically kind of the most developed AI. She has a robot body.
Ago. We just let this shit walk around,
bro. I know. And it's Saudi Arabian at that.
Oh, God, that's not good.
I don't think that reaction was one for the podcast that it needs, but like, yeah. Manufactured in Hong Kong, her citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
Saying, what do you think they're going to do with it?
Use her for her resources. Obviously, she's a fucking AI. She can compete better than anybody in the space, basically, for the most part. You know what I mean? But
I'm just saying, like, the Saudi Arabians like say they're our allies, but they're not really our allies.
This is an entirely different discussion, Logan. What do you want to talk about algorithm AI, or do you want to talk about Saudi Arabian allyship with you? Because I don't have time for both, and those are really two completely different spirits. Anyway, so AIs like her are running some of those algorithms sometimes, and it's like you said, we as the humans are kind of deciding which direction they go in. So it's like, I don't know what's up with the algorithm sometimes. I don't know if I could trust it. We've seen movies like Eagle Eye. We've seen movies like iRobot. And we've seen movies like WALL-E. And little by little, inch by inch, though we've seen those things, humans, being the fucking little idiot imperfect creations they are like, yeah, no big deal.
I'm sorry. I started laughing because you named like iRobot and Eagle Eye, and then
WALL-E.
Then you named WALL-E. I'm like, what the fuck is WALL-E?
WALL-E's one of the scariest ones.
Why is WALL-E the scariest?
Not because of WALL-E himself or Eve. Do you remember what? Because I still haven't actually seen that film. I just remember seeing all the like tidbits. Do you remember what happened to the human race in WALL-E's universe?
Wally saves them.
He did save him at the end? Thank God, because aren't they these fucking fat fucking little...
What happened in this Pixar movie? Wally
I thought him and
everybody?
Eve... No, I thought him and Eve fell in love after failing to save the human race because they didn't deserve it. And I was like, yeah, that's good for them. Yeah, what else? I thought that entire movie was about Wally trying to get him a piece of some Eve, her fine looking ass, bro. And I was like, that's fine. Good for you, Wally. I hope it works out. I didn't know. I thought humans was gone. They were sitting in those giant ass fucking wheelchairs, fat as fucking shit, degrading away. And Wally was like, shit, I have to save shit. Eve. Oh, existence. I've never needed more than existence than now.
The funny part is that Mitch truly thought that all the people died in this children's movie.
No, well, the like, robots,
ran off together and fucked.
And like just fell in love. Good for them. Hey man, I wouldn't put it past Pixar. Good for them. However their eternity goes.
Funniest interpretation of like,
I should go watch that. I should definitely. I've been wanting to. I should definitely go watch that because I love Pixar.
You've never seen it?
No, I really haven't.
What the fuck?
Really haven't,
just
bro.
Based off of the commercial.
Yeah, based off some few flicks, some memes.
A couple memes. What you thought happened is that
Wally saved us? Didn't we treat him like shit, man? Wasn't he a scrap bot because nobody took care of him and they made Eve? And isn't that kind of the basis? Like they didn't take care of, they left him behind.
I think she's like a security bot. I'm not sure, but like Wally himself is like
he's a junk bot or something, right?
Yeah, he's a junk bot. Like he takes trash and he turns it into like smaller trash and he puts it in a pile, and that's his function. That's his life. He's like the pasta robot. He's like the pasta butter robot in Rick and Morty, except with more steps.
What is my purpose?
You
to fix me butter and make me happy.
He's like, oh my God.
I know, right, bro? Literal AI. But I mean, you laugh. We're all laughing. We're talking algorithms. We're talking algorithms. I can't talk today. We're talking those. We're talking AI. And like those are the shit we're going to have to be dealing with in the next 10 years. Sophia has citizenship. She's probably not even the only one, bro. Could probably, I mean, maybe, I hope, like, I don't really know, but she's probably not the only one. In the next 5 years, probably not going to be the only one. Well, the problem is because the reason like people entertain it is because the fact of the matter is, here we are as human beings, no idea why we exist other than the like religious, spiritual reasons, which me and you are okay with.
There's actual people in this world who can't get citizenship in countries right now, and they gave it to a fucking robot.
AI. They thought there'd be more use out of the AI than most of those people. Hey,
that's
Logan,
fucked up.
Deal with it. It is what it is.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. And you know what's even sadder, Logan? The sadder part is it isn't exactly factually wrong. That's what's worse.
No, that is wrong. That's actually
no. I don't mean like morally. I don't mean like morally. Yes, it's morally wrong. I mean in the sense because a country's not thinking about the upkeep of its citizens, as we know, it's thinking about the bottom line, and they think that AI will serve the purpose of their bottom line better than a human being.
That's gross.
Welcome to 2022, right? Yeah. Welcome to America. I mean, not America. Welcome to the world, 2022.
That's gross. I don't like that.
You remember I told you listen, dying in my sleep tomorrow wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing. I would feel horrible because of my family, obviously, but like, whoo.
I'd miss you.
Oh, thanks, man.
Well,
fuck you. But
why are you saying fuck me? I would
because you like trying to make me feel shit and like shit.
You should
on the
feel
show.
Shit.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Sorry, that was actually a Sense8 reference, but like you wouldn't get it unless you watch Sense8.
No.
But yeah, dude, times is crazy. Algorithms always watching, and eventually they're going to be using it to sell you directly to your computer monitor, like in 1984.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Well, in 1984, I forget what they called the monitors. It was like a TV thing, but everyone was watched. So you had to get up. You were forced to do exercises and stuff. Now, I hope we don't get to 1984, but we do have screens all over, and we are already being sold stuff at a constant. Now the algorithm's just going to do it better. And it's be like, hey, you need this. We ordered this while you were out. It's like, yeah, what the fuck algorithm?
We have that now.
What the fuck AI?
Amazon does that, I think.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure either Amazon does that or they have the capability to do that.
It's like, I bought you something while you were out.
Restock your shit. Yeah.
Gotta punish your AI. That's why you gotta watch that Black Mirror, man.
I don't like Black Mirror.
I don't think you're supposed to be honest. But boy, oh boy, do they make good content.
That's what I meant by I don't.
Oh, you don't like the content? You
yeah.
wildin'. Oh, you fucking wildin'.
Nah, I think it's
you a joke.
It's
you
kind
wildin'.
of preachy. I don't know.
You wildin'.
No, like if I had to choose between Black Mirror and the Twilight Zone, it's Twilight Zone every time.
Well, okay, that's fair because of who you are, but to say Black Mirror is bad is wildin', bro. You fucking
I think it's bad because I live in a world where Twilight Zone exists.
You live in a world where Black Mirror exists just a little bit more.
Actually, no. Twilight Zone, I think, has more episodes than Black Mirror.
No, but I mean in terms of which our society more closely resembles.
Twilight
well, are you
Zone?
talking about? Are you talking about what's his name's new Twilight Zone?
Oh
Jordan
no!
Peele's
what I
new?
mean is that like I see what you're saying. I mean that like Twilight Zone gives you more. It's just better fucking content, to be honest.
I don't know. Twilight Zone I wasn't watching too much growing up.
Yes,
a few of the episodes were dope.
Black Mirror talks about things that are happening in our world today, but it's
talks
so fucking,
about them, shoots them amazingly, and the acting's phenomenal.
It's so fucking ham-fisted, and it's a problem that I have with a lot of the content that is made today. That is so like nobody writes and like just trusts the audience anymore. Nobody does that anymore. Like nobody trusts you to understand shit. They like have to ram everything down your throat don't. Like you're a fucking preschooler, and it's the
screens make it hard to do that. But Black Mirror doesn't even do that. So that's why I'm like, no, to the level you're describing, like they still have to explain premises. That's still you have to do that in film regardless.
Don't explain shit. Like make me figure it out. Like goddamn. Like you got to explain the whole show and movie. I hate it. I just don't like it. I don't like being given an instruction manual while I'm watching some shit. Like, you know, I just like let me watch the shit. Like don't make me do work. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Like I'm dumb. Like we need to bring dumb people back. Like let people just be dumb. Like,
and on that note, I think we could call it a night. Maybe get some sleep.
All right.
So bring back dumb, and I'm just like. I literally heard and got all the context, and I see where you're coming from. Not sure I can agree with the statement, but I do understand where you're coming from.
Bring back dumb in the context that we don't allow people to be dumb anymore. So like everybody thinks they're smart and they're really fucking shit up.
The problem is, Logan, is studios want to make money, and if people have to figure things out, they don't go see stuff as often.
That's not true. That's something that we made up. That's not true at all.
I don't know what you're referring to, but I've noticed this as we've progressed from the era where you're talking about to now. And it's the factual thing that dumb people kind of don't necessarily get interested unless you spoon feed them. That's why I'm like, why would you want to bring back dumb people? You want to make the dumb people smarter.
How many years have we been making Shakespeare for? Like Shakespeare is long gone dead. Like he's so dead that I don't even like the worms that eat his body are dead. Like that's how dead he is. And like, you know what I mean? And we still like
on that level, yes. But
Denzel
Shakespeare
was just in Macbeth.
But Shakespeare, that story kind of still tells you enough. It isn't exactly what you're talking about.
But it's
like
also
Shakespeare tells you
really
enough.
smart content. Like you can make really smart content that even dumb people enjoy. You know what I mean?
But will they come out and watch?
Yes. That's why we still make Shakespeare.
No, we make Shakespeare because the spirit of the theater is just strong like that. No offense to film or anything, but like
I don't know about that.
No, you listen. Theater isn't an art that is. Theater will live on as long as people when they do it.
Playwright. We don't do that for every playwright.
Not all of them were as nice. And you don't know that.
That's my point. That's my point.
No. I get you, but not all of them was nice as Shakespeare. But that also still isn't the case because theater communities do keep theater alive. That's what keeps the spirit of theater alive. And the plays that somehow get a following end up going on to do better things and stuff like that. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But that isn't just because like Shakespeare wrote some good content at the time. That's just because the spirit of theater is like that.
But I'm saying good content survives. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that good content survives. Like content, I don't mean like content that like maybe me or you or like 3 other people think is good. I mean like content that is like good. Like that marginally people are like, hey, this is some good shit. You know what I mean? Like the first Spider-Man movie with the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire is good fucking content. Like everybody agrees whether you get all the references or not, that's a good movie. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to make good content that doesn't necessarily insult me like I'm like a preschooler that needs my hand. It's like, did you know that there could be a rating system one day that like rates you on how good you are at social media? And it's like, okay, I could understand that, but what? Like, did you know that that's probably evil? Yes. What the fuck?
Oh my God, Logan.
That's how I feel watching that. Like,
I know, but that's
you're
like
not saying anything.
You're saying a lot because of how much you're saying. But that is your opinion on it, so it depends. Yeah. But yeah, man. Anyways, that's a different discussion.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Mitch, do you have anything you would like to leave the people with?
It's a crazy world out there, folks. You should probably figure out how to take care of yourself and be the best you could be. Loving yourself probably going to be necessary too. Hope you figure it out.
Okay. This, if I'm correct, right? And sorry, I have my loud and clunky. Yes, this will probably be the last episode for Black History Month. Haha, I got you. It's not the last episode. This is the last episode for Black History Month. So I know we probably should have done more Black History content, but we also are just like a regular, like fucking Black podcast. So we are Black History. So that's going to be like all year. So
365.
I know, like all the time. Anyways, I would just say remain excellent. And find excellence in your day. You know, I don't think you need to become like the greatest superstar, but I also don't think that if you are the greatest superstar in the world, that's anything to sneeze at. I think whatever you do and whatever you work hard at, I believe is excellent. I think if it's hard for you to get up out of bed that day because you're just fucking depressed, then I believe you're excellent. I think it takes a lot to do that. I've been there. I know it takes a lot to do that. You know, I think that's a marker of excellence. That's a marker of excellence to me. I think that if, you know, you have 3 kids and you're just taking care of them by yourself because you don't have a partner or whatever that circumstance may be, that's excellent. You know what I mean? I think that we take for granted a lot of the stories that will never ever be brought to light. And I think that your story is Black history. I think all of our stories are Black history, you know? And I think it's time that we are able to talk about that in a way that does not leave us out of the conversation. I think it's time that, you know, we recognize that Black excellence lives among us, that there's more than just, you know, the people we see on TV as Black excellence, that we are also Black excellence, you know? It took a lot to get here and to be here. And that's what Black History Month is about, you know? And if I could leave this month with anything, I would leave it with that sentiment that we are Black history. Like,
we are.
The stories you tell, the stories we are, like the stories that impact us most are the ones that come from the people around us, our families, and ourselves. You know what I mean? And that's historical. That's our history. That's your history. That's my history, you know? And we need to make sure that, you know, that's what we celebrate. And we should, like, teachers, you should teach that. Like, think about what are your students' history? Like, what is your history? Because that's what's going to turn into history tomorrow. Like, you don't know who your children or who you could be tomorrow. Like, it just takes a second sometimes, you know, it just takes a moment sometimes to turn something mundane into something that nobody's ever seen before or ever thought before or you know, grasped before, you know? And that's to me is the essence of what we should be trying to strive for and what we already are, you know? And that's all I want to leave everybody with when it comes to Black History Month and Black excellence and all of that. That's all I want to leave you guys with, is that, you know, don't look at somebody else's life and whatever and think that, you know, you can't do it too, or that you need to do it too, to be excellent and to be you, you know? That's all I have. As always, if you like the show, share the show or whatever, and like write it in the comment section. And if you disagree with us or whatever, you know, also write that in the comment section, I guess. I'm going to be more diligent about like chopping the episodes up. The episodes will still come out, but I'm going to chop them up so that like you can comment on certain sections of the show and things like that. So in short, I'm trying to make it easier for everybody. But that's just about it. Let's get out of here for real. Say bye to people, Mitch.
I think I won't die tomorrow.
I like that. I'm glad that I get to have my friend for at least one more day. I've been your host, Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast Podcast. See ya. Bye.